Hey guys, just got back from the theater from seeing another double feature, and I am very, very fucking tired. Had a long couple days, and luckily I'm off tomorrow, but I do want to get these reviews done as soon as possible, so I can maybe just relax and go to bed here in a bit. But anyways, first movie I sat through, saw was Zombieland Double Tap, the sequel to obviously Zombieland. Uh, I love the first Zombieland. I thought it was a really funny movie. I was a big fan of it when it came out, and I've seen it more than a couple times since it was released. I think I even own it on DVD somewhere in my house. I'm not even gonna go look for it, but I really enjoyed the hell out of Zombieland when it first came out. I thought it was very, very funny. It came out during a time when Zombieland or zombie parody films were still kind of fresh and weren't done to death like they are nowadays. Because like somebody I heard even somebody say like zombie parody movies are almost like there's about as many zombie parody movies as there are actual zombie movies, and it's like at this point it's kind of annoying, and it's kind of getting old, just like zombie movies or zombie TV shows, or it's getting annoying and really old and repetitive. If I never see another zombie movie in my life, I will be fine with it. So, but when I heard they're making a sequel, I mean, this sequel has been in the works for, I think, fucking all 10 years it's taken for it to come out. I don't even know why the fuck it took 10 years for this movie to be made, but it did. It's really fucking crazy. Of all movies, Zombieland was the movie that took 10 years to make. I guess because everyone that has been involved in this has had a pretty big career ever since. With Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson. Obviously, Woody Harrelson's had a big career, anyways. Emma Stone, obviously, Abigail Breslin, and everybody's been doing their own thing. And I'm like, I don't know what's taken so long. So, but also going into this movie, I was worried because it's just pretty much an unwritten rule. I can't name a good sequel or a comedy sequel. I don't think I've ever. It's very rare, like name on one hand kind of like thing where I can't really name much as far as good comedy sequels. The only one that could come to mind that came out recently was maybe 22 Jump Street, which was really funny. I did like that, but that's the one that comes to mind as far as like I have to really start thinking about it if I really want to, so because of that I'm kind of worried about this. And two, usually when it takes a long time for a comedy sequel to come out, a 10-year span, it usually means it's probably not going to be very good. And I was worried about that too. And stuff like Dumb and Dumber 2, fucking hate that movie. So yeah, this movie was okay. It was okay. I heard it was pretty good, but it's okay. I didn't hate it. It's not one of the worst comedy sequels ever, I'll say that. There's been plenty worse than this. I thought this movie was fun. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I just didn't laugh as much as it did with the first one. It didn't. There wasn't as many laughs as I would wanted to have while watching this movie, but I still thought it was fun for what it was, and it was nice to see obviously the main cast in this movie, seeing them all back. They're pretty fucking great in this role, especially Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is a fucking national treasure. That motherfucker, he's having the time of his life in this role, and he's just playing, I think, a version of himself, really. And it's fun to watch. Woody Harrelson's just one of those actors I have, even in the worst kind of movie, he's always a joy to fucking watch. I love Woody Harrelson, and he's awesome in this movie. He's a good actor, but he gets to show his comedic chops in in the movies like this, which he is very fucking funny. Yeah, I liked him a lot in this one, and I liked him in the last one. And you got, Jesse Eisenberg playing Jesse Eisenberg like he did in the first one. Pretty much like he did in the first one, where he's neurotic and had a little bit of OCD in him, and kind of, yeah, he's Jesse Eisenberg. It is weird to see Abigail Breslin all grown up now. I don't know if I'm the only one. It's like, it's really weird to see Little Miss Sunshine have boobs now. I know that sounds perverted. I'm not trying to sound perverted, but it's like, it's weird seeing her like smoking weed, and it never gets old. It never gets weird. It'll never not get weird for me to watch like Little Miss Sunshine. Like, she's fine in this movie. Woody Harrelson like considers her like a dad ever since as this movie's picking up, you see the relationship and how it's progressed, where he kind of tries to be a father figure to her, and he's kind of refusing to acknowledge that she's growing up, even though she's like pretty much she's gonna be about in her 20s now. Yeah, definitely gonna be in her 20s. And it's like Woody Harrelson, like one of the best parts of this movie is when he finds out she ran off of a guy from Berkeley who's like basically a hippie, and he fucking hates hippies. His rant that he goes on is fucking hilarious. That part was pretty funny. Pretty much most of the laughs I had in this movie were from Woody Harrelson, just because Woody Harrelson being Woody Harrelson. Emma Stone, she's fine. She's got this thing with Jesse Eisenberg that like you saw in the first one, where you're seeing where they are now, and he kind of proposes to her, spoiler alert, and she declines his proposal, and so there's some awkwardness there. I guess one character I should talk about is Zoe Deutsch's character. She's the blonde Madison. Zoe Deutsch, you don't know who she is. She's the daughter of Leah Thompson. If you see, once you find that fact out, that she's Leah Thompson's daughter, you cannot unsee Leah Thompson in her. And I'll say this: that character is probably going to be a make or break character for some people, because her character can be a little grating. Holy shit. It didn't bother me as much as I thought it would, but it did get like annoying sometimes. She's basically playing the dumb blonde that somehow survived Zombieland by like locking herself in a cooler in the mall, and yeah. And she's the somewhat love interest of Jesse Eisenberg when Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin, spoiler alert, kind of leave the group at the beginning of the movie. And yeah, it's like I like Zoe Deutsch. She's not a bad actress. I'm not saying at all she's bad, but yeah, her character can be a little grating, and it didn't bug me as much. But I could see some people not liking that character one fucking bit. Yeah, like pretty much like there's no only really big new cast members are Rosario Dawson, who gets the most screen time out of all the new cast members. She's like the new love interest for Woody Harrelson in this movie. I like Rosario Dawson. She's always fucking awesome in pretty much anything she's in. She's always really awesome. She plays a lot of the same roles where she's like kind of the love interest of one of the main characters. Like she keeps getting typecast like in a lot of the same roles. But I love her in this movie, and I love her as an actress. So I mean, yeah, she's funny. That Luke Wilson, and I don't know who that kid that played the doppelganger of Jesse Eisenberg, but yeah, like that shtick was funny at first, but then it just kept going and going and going. Like, I didn't care. It was one of those jokes that kind of was funny at first, but then, like I said, just kept going and going and going. I did like that there's parts of this movie where, like, people get there's some brutal deaths that are kind of unexpected to happen in this movie. One that I saw coming a mile away, that, like, there's a twist to one of them. There's a main character you think dies, but then comes back. That's all I'll say. But, you know, I saw that coming. Like, I knew instantly what was really going on wasn't what they were thinking was going on. Yeah, I didn't mind. Like I said, but that didn't bug me too much. I did also think one of the things that kind of drove me nuts about this movie was the ending, where I felt like they rushed through a lot of the conflicts of this movie pretty fucking quickly. Like, they got easily resolved really quickly, out of nowhere. Like Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone's relationship problems to even Abigail Breslin and Woody Harrelson's relationship kind of get resolved pretty fucking quickly, and it's like that feels like it seemed a little rushed. I don't know why. I mean, I know this movie's only an hour and a half, but you could, you know, maybe stretch it out a little bit more. And, like, it kind of feels like that they accidentally. Also, I found it funny. They pretty much Woody Harrelson kind of just accidentally comes upon basically the climax of the film, because, like, the movie's coming. You think's coming to an end, and you're like, all right, is this movie over now? Like, doesn't feel like this movie had a climax, but whatever. But then, like, they had to throw something in there at the end, like, just so they could have a climax. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Even though you kind of, once you see a certain setting that they go into, you know that's where the climax is going to be and what's going to probably happen. But, I'm trying to be vague without trying not to spoil it too much. All right, that's what. So if you see the movie, you don't know what I'm talking about. One thing I do want to talk about that probably the most I have laughed during this whole movie was that I recommend everybody stay during the credits, because there is a special mid-credits and post-credits scene that is really fucking funny. It includes a fucking great cameo that, man, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm glad I wasn't fucking spoiled that cameo, because it was definitely a fucking pleasant surprise. I laughed my ass off. It was really funny. I wish, honestly, maybe you could have had that be the sequel to Zombieland. Maybe if that would have been, I guess, just in case they couldn't get all the original cast members. I think that would have been a kind of fun take on Zombieland if they would have told this story. But I don't know. I thought that was probably one of the biggest laughs I've got the whole movie, was that mid-credit scene. There's an end-credit scene too that's pretty funny too, but not as funny as the mid-credits one. But yeah, make sure to stick around for the credits. I recommend it, I guess. You like the first one, you probably like it. I definitely see you liking this one too. It's not as good as the first one. I didn't really expect it being better than the first one, or as good as the first one going in, but I still liked it. I do recommend it. Trailers. The Turning, new haunted house movie. That's basically all I got out of this. It's a new nanny that is basically babysitting these two creepy kids in this creepy mansion, and it's supposedly haunted. Ooh, that's basically all you need to know. And the new Charlie's Angels trailer. This kind of was showing more of the plot of that movie. It's a new Charlie's Angels movie. That's all you really need to know. Kristen Stewart and Naomi Scott and Elizabeth Banks playing Bosley, and Patrick Stewart playing Charlie, which is cool. And Elizabeth Banks is directing, so I'm kind of interested in seeing just if she's good. She's a good director or not. I want to see if she is. I like Elizabeth Banks. I've said that multiple times. I love Elizabeth Banks. She's fucking hilarious. A great actress, and really funny actress too. So we'll see. That's as far as trailers go. I got one more review to do, and until then, I will talk to you guys later.